As most of you know, I just returned from a week in Iowa with my parents. It was a tender time to be with them. But my mom likes to do projects, so my generosity story is inspired by the project my mom and I worked on together. The project was to help my mom go through her massive library and start to give away a bunch of those books. Now, she did end up giving away about 150 or 200 or so, which put a small dent in her collection. But we didn't quite get as far as we imagined, because before we started taking books off the bookshelves, I suggested that we take a picture of all of her shelves so she would have sort of a visual record of all the books that she had read and loved. Well, the irony of this whole story is that we spent infinitely more time creating, framing, and hanging those lovely pictures that we took than we actually spent pulling out books to give away. But I guess that will have to be another project for another time. Well, my mom is not only a reader, she is a publisher and a writer. So on top of her enormous library, she also had an astounding collection of books she had published, as well as books, articles, and curricula she had written over almost 50 years. It was incredible to see the sheer volume as well as the true beauty of these works of art she had created over a lifetime. So as my mom was sorting through all these writings, she would pause from time to time to tell me the backstory behind a particular article or book. One article's story in particular caught my attention. It was from the winter 1990 to 1991 edition of the artistic and literary journal called The Iowa Woman, which my mom edited for 2 years in her office, which was a small bedroom in the upstairs of our house. In the article, she tells the story of coming home one afternoon to find the front door of the house wide open. Startled and immediately nervous, she called the police, convinced that the house had been broken into. The police came, scoured the whole house, came out and assured my mom that no one was there and everything looked fine. Except there was this one room upstairs with papers scattered everywhere. It looked as if it had been rifled through. So my mom dashed upstairs to see what could have happened. And lo and behold, there was her Iowa Woman office, just exactly as she had left it that morning. The rest of the article went on to share her wonder at just what it takes to create a literary journal. She wrote, "Whoever would have thought that all it takes to publish a journal is a vision, a room, 2 or 3 volunteers who are willing to put in hundreds of hours, a typesetter and a printer who will take payment in bits and pieces as the money comes in, and subscribers, those faithful people who keep renewing their subscriptions, even though they're never sure when or even if they will get their issues. Whoever would have thought that all it takes to publish a journal is time, tenacity, passion, fortitude, courage, organization, faith, a deep love of the written word, and money. That's all. I wonder sometimes," she goes on to say, "if contributors to the arts realize how important they are to the production and preservation of all kinds of art, and how deeply grateful those of us who work as artists and preservers of art are to them. Time and time again, over her entire life, my mom has been one of those people who contribute untold hundreds, even thousands of hours, untold even thousands of dollars for no other reason than to bring something beautiful and meaningful into the world. Something that matters. Whether that was the thousands of hours and dollars poured into the Iowa Woman Journal or Sunday school curriculum, whether it was essays and books on addiction or a course on writing, whether it was family biographies or family blessings, memoirs or meditations, my mom has been one of those people whose generosity of spirit compels her over and over and over again to give countless hours and countless dollars to co-creating something beautiful and meaningful that matters. Now, did the Iowa Woman Journal matter to everyone? No. But it sure as heck mattered to the women whose art and poetry and visions were published there and perhaps nowhere else. It sure as heck mattered to the men and women whose minds and hearts were expanded in ways they never could have predicted because of reading that journal. It sure as heck mattered to my mom. But without the abundance of generosity of people like my mom who were willing to go all in to manifest a vision, it never would have happened. Leaven is a beautiful, meaningful vision of community that matters. Does it matter to everyone? No. But it matters to a lot of people. And without the consistent, passionate, tenacious, courageous, faithful, and overflowing generosity of time and resources, of hundreds, even thousands of people over the years, this community might never have happened, might not continue to happen. So my question for you today is, why does this community matter to you? And or what does the story of my mom's generosity of spirit inspire in you? Why does this Leaven community matter to you? And or what does the story of my mom's generosity of spirit inspire in you? Amen.